What's up, you guys? So I just wanted to shed some light on a situation, a situation. And so basically, on December 30th, 2020, as someone was ending out the new year, they decided to email me, Lailah Lynn, anonymously to try to expose Andy Cohen. And I feel like Andy Cohen is kind of like a wide open person. You know what I mean? He's like a wide open person. It's kind of hard to expose him. But they sent me this email, and Storm mentioned in a video, excuse me, he mentioned in a video, basically, this person mentioned me. And so I'm going to get into this. There is someone who is trying to expose Andy Cohen anonymously, and they're saying that Andy Cohen has basically a black lover, quote unquote lover. And we all know, Andy Cohen's sexual preference, so that's not exposing him. And the fact that he has a black lover, in my opinion, that's not exposing him either. Like, that's not unusual to me. And so I didn't cover this because if you know my channel, I like to cover things where it's like a link to a source. Like, I'm a research-based channel. And when you look at these different YouTube channels, like you have to look at what their brand is. Like, if you want to reach out to someone with a story, look at their brand. And my brand is like receipts. I'm a receipt-based brand. So if you send me something anonymously that I can't research, I'm going to start to wonder, like, who is this anonymous person? So anyway, I'm going to get into the email. And basically, I said all that to say, I feel like the person who emailed me is the same person who is allegedly Andy Cohen's lover or ex-lover. And I feel like they tried me. I feel like this person tried me. And so the email says, I watched your video about Monique Samuels quitting the Real Housewives of Potomac and thought I should send you this message. I'm a black woman. I'm going to say allegedly because I don't believe this is a black woman. I believe this is a black man. They said, I'm a black woman who works for a network and I want to remain anonymous. Why? They said, this past Sunday, I had a friend who came in town. I went to visit her at the Manhattan at Times Square Hotel. My friend and I were already in the elevator. The elevator stopped on the next floor. A young black guy with a shiny bald head and nice smile got in the elevator with this older white guy. They were holding each other's hands. The black guy hurried up and removed his hand from the white guy like he didn't want no one to see. The white guy had a mask on. The black guy put his mask on when he walked in the elevator. When I was looking at the white guy, I was thinking to myself, that look and sound like Andy Cohen. I wasn't for sure. As we all began to walk out the elevator, both guys were standing in front of the hotel. They took a picture with each other, and lo and behold, it was Andy Cohen. The black guy he was with, supposedly his lover, blank. And the name, I blanked out the name for a courtesy, but the name was someone that follows me on Instagram. He and I DM each other like randomly, like he might send me like a funny meme or something like that. Somebody I know through Instagram. And he said, I remember that guy because he turned down a reality show because he refused to do a reality show that would want him to bash his ex-boyfriend that was also a celebrity. So like I said, since I knew this person like casually on social media, I was like, well, let me go ahead and reach out to this person. And so that's what Storm is referring to in his video when he's reading the DMs from that person. That person, as a courtesy, I reached out to that person. I'm going to just say, quote unquote, that person. And that person, because I reached out to them, they took my name and reached out to other bloggers using my name saying Lailah Lynn reached out to me. Now, I reached out as a whole courtesy. You know what I'm saying? I reached out as a whole courtesy. Next time I won't. But in the course of conversation, I started wondering if the same person I'm talking to in these DMs is the same person who wrote me. Like this anonymous person, I started wondering if it's the alleged lover, the quote unquote lover. And so toward the end of the conversation, I say, why don't you expose him? Because at this point, I've decided to wash my hands of it. I'm not going to, have nothing to do with this. And like I said, my channel is not like an exposing channel. It's more like a research-based channel. And anonymous sources don't always work for me. Maybe sometimes when I feel like I know who the source is, even if they don't tell me their name. But in this case, it didn't work for me. So I said, why don't you expose him? Like this person, has a platform. Why don't you expose him? And they said, I have no problem exposing him, but I want it done in a professional way. And so, in real life, this doesn't make sense to me. Like if you're dating a multimillionaire and you want to expose him, like at first this person said they didn't want to expose him. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. This is a whole multimillionaire. Maybe you're still trying to get money out of this situation. Maybe you're still trying to monetize it. But when they said to me, I want to expose him, I have no problem exposing him, I just want it done in a professional way, I was like, okay, this makes no sense to me. Honestly, it makes no sense to me to want to expose a multimillionaire that you're dating, you've allegedly dated, to expose them and you get no financial gain. It doesn't make sense to me, so I didn't respond. And so a few days later, this person wrote back and said, I really don't know what to do. One blogger already talked about the email. He didn't say my name, but what is going to happen when someone do say my name? And because I already know I'm not going to talk about it, I've excused myself. I just wrote back and said, I would get a lawyer if I were you. Like, be like me, be like me, get a lawyer. If I were you, I would get a lawyer. If someone is mentioning your name and trying to expose you in that type of way, get a lawyer, take it to court, take legal action, And so he didn't respond. This is kind of where the conversation ended. But I felt like I should share, my side of the situation. I don't feel like this is news. Like Andy Cohen liking Black D. I don't feel like this is news. In the course of the situation, this person also sent me a graphic picture that I didn't appreciate. But I didn't feel like it was news. It is something that I excused myself from because I felt like the author of this letter was a ex-lover. What do you call it? A disgruntled lover that wanted to expose Andy Cohen for liking Black men, but not Black women. But I feel like that's obvious. Like we watch The Real Housewives, it's kind of obvious, how Andy Cohen feels about Black women. And so that's why I didn't report on the story. But since my name has been brought into it, I just want to make it clear. This is the first half of the email I received. This is the second half of the conversation with the alleged lover. And I felt like the alleged lover was the author of the email. And so I didn't report on it on my channel.